Hello everyone, and welcome to another week of Dungeons & Dragons, all the way from Site Zero in the suburbs of Texas. I'm your humble DM, and these are our players. It's been a fun reunion episode, and I guess that it's, actually really appropriate. I have three of my own in-game characters up instead of two last week, which is really exciting and interesting. We have been traveling through the outer depths of hell in the city of Garden. Last week, the party essentially settled some deals, wrote some checks, did some negotiating, met a robot devil and a dog named Blue, who I did not get on with, and bought some infernal wine for the ship, the Lusty Maiden, that you have essentially resigned yourselves to attempting to board. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a very branded episode, as it were. I think you'll see later. And so at the end of our session, you would come back, and Helena, the captain of the Lusty Maiden, had agreed to get you a room at the ship, at the seaside tavern, the Dark Portents pub. And you were sleeping in the penthouse when the group of you are all beset upon by nightmares? Night terrors, I suppose you would say. You have extended dreams and toss and turn. I have your dreams here. Pocket has a nightmare of being in a dungeon, perhaps in a pyramid somewhere, and stone rooms lining the walls when the party is suddenly beset upon by snake people. And the group of you are sitting for tea, and their prized mug falls out of their hand and crashes onto the ground.
Whose mug?
Your cup. Ruzo, you have a dream wherein the group of you is standing around a divination portal in some forest somewhere, and Copernicus with the Elder Wand twirls it over this divination portal, and you begin to see an image of Darren, the Baron Bloodborne, and Niles Blagula making out. And
No!
Me vigorously riding in the corner.
And
No.
Genuine no.
Blakis and Sunny, your dream experience is a little bit more like the opening scenes to Planescape. They're like dramatic flashes of previous lovers that flash in front of your eyes. They seem to be trying to convince you, some one way, some another.
I hate this system. Stop.
Your
No.
final memory is of being at the mortuary, and some very old, wrinkled follower of what's the faction at the mortuary? The Dustmen. Some very old Dustmen putting you to sleep with a local anesthesia.
Oh God, not again.
It's like it's a type of smelling salt that they open from a brown sack, and they pop it in front of your face.
Bad touch. No.
And the group of you all awake simultaneously with your party members who have presumably also had dreams. At the very least, Copernicus and Borean
All these rectangles.
shout out, "Ah!"
All these rectangles make a triangle.
Oh, that's
You need to
so
stop
bad.
writing that story. It's giving me some weird dreams.
What?
Oh.
What?
You and your fiction.
Fiction?
My family fiction.
Fiction? fiction. This is slash fiction and biographical slash fiction at that.
It's like almost
But
a
it's
family
getting in
history
my
at this
head.
point.
I can't help it
God.
if your families are freaky.
Copernicus says, my dream was more like a memory. We were in some kind of palace in the nether planes. And there was this woman. Oh my god.
Oh, not a woman. Oh God, I had to smell things, Copernicus.
No, I think, I think that she was the
No.
woman.
My mom?
Ah.
My mom?
My mom?
And you can see that you all look at Borean, and it's almost like something inside of them has broken. There's some dark countenance that's kind of taken over their face, and they seem defeated, particularly melancholy.
Hey, Borean Gray, what's going on over there?
Yeah, did you find your portrait?
It's the amulet. Amulet of ataxia has taken a toll on my body and my psyche. They
I'm
stare
gonna
off.
check it.
We all stare off. We all
Yeah.
kind of go thousand
You have a
yard
collective
stare.
moment of, breathing. You can see that Copernicus is visibly shaken and trembling.
Aw.
We're
Blake
all
puts a
look,
hand on his shoulder.
look, we're all
Like-
shook.
I'm sorry.
Look, we're all shook.
Just give me a second. And he holds his wand out to you.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go find something to drink.
You can see that the dwarves look pretty stout and resolute, and they're just kind of getting on with making... They're all in the kitchen, making breakfast. There's like a kitchenette in this hotel room.
What's the dwarf's name? What's the lead dwarf's name?
Torlin.
Torlin? Are you sure? What?
No, it's Peta.
PETA. Yeah. PETA. How often do we wake up gasping in 1,000-yard stare?
And he looks over you. Well, it happened a couple of times when you're on the bub. But I don't know. This might be something different. And he points at the halfling, who is like weeping in his hands at this point. And there's like a literal darkness, almost like a magical darkness that's coming from their silhouette.
Yeah, that's not gonna do me much good. I'd like to, that's kind of curious to pocket, so I want to use my Rod of Alertness and use Detect Good and Evil. Technically it says it lets me know if there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, is also where they're located. Similarly, I know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of me that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. But also, it's up to you what else it tells me. But yeah, it's kind of wave my rod at. I'm trying to wave away the darkness.
What you find instead is that it's like an overload of information, like almost static or feedback of this effect. You are able to make out weak presences of darkness underneath you. And just make me an Arcana check to see if anything else happens.
Also note, I am using a magical
I was
item.
just thinking that. Yeah. Give me 1 second. It is...
I rolled an 11 on the die. That gives me a non-natural 20 for Arcana.
And you aren't able to make out very much more than that. It's
Damn,
like
with a 20?
it's just a static effect. And the harder that you try and focus on it, the further that it gets away from you. It becomes less and less. And if there was any light or associated magical effects with your rod being used, those begin to dim and fade.
What do I think about that? What does that mean?
You're not entirely sure. It's unusual. Let's see. You are traveling with 2 sorcerers, though.
Do I feel the advantages that the rod gives me, such as my more keen perception? Do I feel that fade away, or is that still there?
Yes, you feel that fade away.
So the item doesn't work.
The effect is beginning to fade. It's a pretty high margin, right? Like it's a +5?
No, it's not that kind of thing. The
Okay.
rod,
It gives you advantage on perception checks, though,
it gives
right?
me advantage on perception checks and initiative rolls, and allows me to cast 4 spells at will.
Yeah. You attempted to cast the spell, and it appears to have failed. That's kind of what Copernicus says.
But do I have those bonuses still? I need to know whether to turn them on or off.
Well, give me a second.
Yeah. I just don't want to be rolling with
You can
advantages
keep
I
them
don't
on
have.
for now.
Okay. I kind of like wave the thing around and like knock it on the ground a little
It
bit.
still seems to function. It's as if it's, like I said, just an overextension. It's hyper stimulated when you attempt to detect evil.
Gotcha. I bop it around. Just shove it back in my pocket.
Anything useful?
No, no. Borean. Let's go. Come on. No, I don't care. Okay? We've done you a favor by allowing you to be with us. Come with us. Let's go.
Whatever.
Don't be ungrateful.
He gets up begrudgingly. The dwarves have at this point cooked a massive breakfast.
Come on, let's get some food.
Like 2 dozen eggs and several links of sausage for each of you, and they pop a keg open and begin passing around their morning beers.
This is nice. I heard you couldn't keep food nice here in hell. This is nice.
Yeah, they say that it was provided by the hotel, and that Garden is one of the few places where these imports were smuggled through, and because this is a portside pub, it doesn't stay for very long, like a day, so everything is incredibly fresh and only of the highest quality, because if not, then it would essentially be wasteful. And this stuff tends to preserve longer out of the plains. So, but the only food that you have so far seen besides this in this plain is the berries that grow in abundance here in the city of Garden.
This is a very nice spread you've done. Thank you.
Push it shut. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, this happens.
Yeah, I just I make sure Borean gets some food.
He pecks at it, has a few bites.
Eat it. I'm like making him eat his food.
That's fine. Yeah. This is an,
Okay, we got the weapons. We need the hair gel still. Is that all we
Oh.
needed? We need the weapons.
and Copernicus.
The wine is fine.
The
We got the
wine's
wine.
fine. The weapons are fine, and they gave us a lead on the weapons. Tasha Bismarck,
You mean hair gel? We got the weapons.
hair gel. Yes, yes.
All right. We're rested. We're fed. Let's go get this hair gel and get on the boat.
And you have an address. Yeah.
I hand it to Peta.
PETA takes it and hands it to Torlin, your guide. we're all ready to go.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Very good. So you make your way from the pub, which is on the western end of the city, closest to the Blood River, which is widest at this point, you're told, in the plain, which is why it's used as a dock. And you begin to make your way back in and through the city. Let's see. Ah, yes, and Torlin actually says, there's actually a portal that'll cut our time in half. You guys still have that dark branch, don't you?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll check if I have the dark branch in my
You
bag.
definitely still have it, yes. It makes a moaning noise
Yeah.
once you open it, yes.
Perfect. What do you need?
And it's sort of like your boombox. It's playing these ambient sounds in the background as you make your way through the streets. And he takes you to an archway. It looks a lot like the Hellgate, actually, in the city. You can see that there are different kind of just different images, corrupted scenes, like it's a desecrated mural. It isn't in the best condition. But, yeah, there are just different craven scenes, bloodshed, mayhem, degeneracy, what have you. And he goes up, Torlin goes up to one particular part of it in which you can see an upside-down wreath with what appears to be a skull in the upper end of it.
Why do I know this wreath is upside down? It's a circle.
Oh gosh, I guess typically the crest would be at the bottom.
Okay.
It's like that picture of upside down baked beans or peas. You know it's upside down, but you don't know why.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Torlin says, put your branch here.
Yeah, sure, bud. Blake will do it. Can someone
I'm
give me
gonna
like a boost?
And you
What?
do, and you attempt to bink, 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 bink. The thing is screeching in your hands, and to you, this is a lot more intense. You can feel the vibrations and the necrotic energy rushing through your hands. Bink,
Can someone pick me
bink,
up?
bink.
Give me like a boost or something?
The dwarves begin to circle around you, and they lift you simultaneously.
Hey,
And
watch
you
your
get
hands. Watch
closer.
your hands.
While they're doing
bink,
that, I'm
bink.
gonna slide up the pocket and be like, okay, two things. Firstly, what do you think it would sound like if the desecrated branch and the soul coin were together? Secondly, in all of those books you read, was there anything about weird dreams in hell?
Oh yeah, tons. You'll have plenty of them, and that you should.
Okay, so that was just a average night then in hell.
Okay. Well, maybe that may be presumptuous on my part. It seemed like everything else seems to me. It seems like logical that one would be having stress terrors after while being in this place.
Okay.
Blake, Sonny, your effects continue to be, or your attempts continue to be ineffectual at generating any particular effect. And what do you do?
Turn to the dwarf who told me to do that.
I think Blake will turn the branch round so it's the other way and then try again that way.
It's at this point that you notice a slimy, tall creature in resplendent purple robes with a crooked staff and wings on sort of reaching out from behind their robes. I will put a picture in the chat.
Is it the Amnesu we
It
saw?
is. Yes, it is. And
That's the one that was looking for Borean. Borean.
Uh-oh.
and Borean
Ew.
turns around and oh god!
Don't
and
yell.
They attempt to cast a spell on themselves.
Oh, I probably should have
Can I
just not.
Try and be distracting, like if I notice this
Can I
like
counterspell
creature.
him? And I want to counterspell him.
Before you're able to counterspell,
That's-
there are random discharges of magic.
Disappointing.
I'm gonna, if the creature, if whatever this is hasn't noticed Borean, I'm gonna go over to him and just sort of like crouch down and like hide him under my cloak, but pretend to like do something with my shoe.
Very good.
I'm gonna try
you
and
can see
distract
that
the
there's like a
creature.
darkness that comes over his eyes, and when you attempt to do that, he casts a spell.
Counterspell him.
Okay, I haven't figured out what the... Okay. Could you roll a D100 for me?
Sure. What level is the spell?
The spell is a third... Well, it's raised. It is a 5th level spell.
I rolled a 0 and then a 5. So yeah, that'd be 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Cool, so...
And then I need to do a check for the counterspell. And I succeed. Because it would be a DC 15 if it's a 5th level spell.
Uh-huh.
So I rolled a 19.
Got it. Yes, you can see that a ball of fire begins to swirl around from Borean's staff, but you are able to contain it before he executes it. And Borean pushes you back, Russo, and says, "Get away from me!"
Trying to
And-
help.
Yeah, keep it cool, dude. Keep it chill.
Can I
And the
distract the creature?
creature begins to speak in an infernal tongue, and you can see that Borean is pained by this.
Oh, I speak Infernal. What's he say?
Oh, you
I
do.
think. Oh. Shit.
Do you?
No, I dropped that.
What do you mean?
Oh.
What do you mean you dropped that? Can't just forget a language.
No, I was going to
Yeah.
speak Infernal, then I changed to Sylvan, because
Oh,
Sylvan
okay.
came up last campaign.
I'll cast tongues on myself to try and understand.
Boris, put me down. I might be needed.
And you can hear it saying something to the effect of, "You have escaped from the place in which none are allowed to leave. Now I will show you what we do to those who think that they can breach the wrath of the lords."
Hey, wait, hold on, bub. Hold on. What's going on? What's going on here?
You can communicate with them as well, right?
Let me see. It says, understand any spoken language. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. So yes, I can. I speak, and he understands
Well,
me.
yeah, they speak common anyways. Or they would know common. And
Hey, what's going on?
the creature says, and it speaks in common in all of your minds, the halfling has broken a contract sewn in blood,
Oh shit.
confining them to the dungeons of the 8th Circle
Oh.
for carrying an artifact which was not of which they were not deemed worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be returning them to their prison now. And
What did Borean offer us? Why did we let him come with us again?
Magical items, and it was a morally good thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, that was the.
That's the one who
was
wanted
the
to give him
thing.
up.
Okay, if I say that, if you guys say Blake wanted to, again, I'm gonna cry. In real life. You
No,
know?
no, no.
You don't want to do that.
At this point, Pocket kind of looks at Blake with a, shit. You might have been right. Look.
Blake's just like trying to slap the dwarves to let her like down so she can like intervene. and I don't think they get the image. Like,
Wait, what do you mean let her down?
You can see that Borean
She's
continues
being
to back
hoisted
away
by the
from the
dwarves.
group of you, and he seems very distrusting, and there is some franticness and fear in his eyes. He says, I'm not going to be taken in. I'm not going to go willingly. And attempts to cast a spell at the same time as the Amnesu.
I want to try and counter the Amnesu spell.
Okay, that's fine.
oh, is this combat?
He pulls
Not
out
quite.
a little fork from his cape, and he dings it.
I roll a natural 20 on my counter spell.
Roll a d100 for me also.
24.
Okay, 1 second. And the spell works, but in the ensuing portal that swirls, when Borean disappears into another plane, a couple of the dwarves are absorbed in that portal with him. Specifically, Aran, Lyrid, Aran, Lyrid, and Bessie.
As a result of his spell?
Seemingly, or it's just Aran and Bessie.
Not Bessie.
Yep.
She was a cool broad.
And you can see the dwarves begin to look at each other with some concern. Our friend.
Yeah, I fucking tried, bub. That should have worked. I don't know what to tell you.
And the Amnesu stares down the group of you and says, though it may not be at this moment, the consequences for these actions will find their way to those responsible.
Not right at this moment. Buddy, you just vanished 2 of our dudes. You owe us money at least.
And you can see they attempt to twirl. They're walking away from you at this point, and when they twirl their wand and nothing happens, they spread their wings and begin flying off.
Oh, do I interrupt? Guys,
If you look like you're going to, Torlin says, "Oh, don't want to fight an Amnesu. Not with fewer in our ranks."
Yes.
You sure? Probably got money
Yes,
though.
I'm sure.
Okay, cool. Sorry about your friends.
I don't know what we're gonna do without Bessie and Aran.
Well, I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we can meet up after this. Well, back to my branch poking. And Blake's gonna start putting the bronze back in the doorway.
And let's see. There's no effect, and Torlin says, I don't think there's any use of it.
Hold up. Am I holding it upside down?
And you can see that dark, almost like necrosis, or has begun to go up your fingers by this point, which you don't feel because you're undead, but you notice it. The skin looks more rotted than it did previously. And
Oh, jeez.
Copernicus comes up and says, I don't think that's very healthy or natural. Pocket, would you say that that's demonic necrosis?
Yeah.
I think that's demonic necrosis. You should put that branch away.
Russo, do you think this looks like demonic recursus? And she's gonna just start touching like Russo, like.
I'm gonna trust the 2 people who know more about magic than I do. And
Oh.
demonic stuff. But yeah,
Let's
that
go
looks
put the bronze
pretty
away.
demonic to me.
Yeah, that is not healthy.
Yeah. I thought it was just me, but now that 3 people have agreed, you know what? I'm gonna put the branch away.
That's your quota for this is actually happening.
Yeah.
It's just definitely a thing.
I mean, Blake's been through it. It's just like, does everyone else see this? Like,
And Torlin says, well, I guess we have to continue going through the streets this way. It's not as convenient, but we should be fine.
cool.
And you continue to make your way through the streets of Garden until you eventually reach a sign where you can see like a subsection or a walled-off village that appears at a certain point. And there are these large, obnoxious, fluorescent green signs with white letterings on, and it says Garland as you walk up. And Torlin says, "Yep, this is it. We've got to keep going this way." And he takes you through, and you're able to see a number of different, mostly dilapidated buildings or abandoned buildings, but several, commercial districts and some houses that still remain. There are large, open, empty fields and smooth stone pathways pretty much everywhere. No sidewalks, but it looks like a mostly abandoned area, and you're able to get through. You notice several bars: Misty Sieve, Katie Tap House, Ebenezer, Libertine, The Goat, Standard Pour, etc., as you make your way through, and eventually you find yourself to Tasha's Tailoring. And Torlin says, "This is the place, I guess. We'll wait outside, keep watch."
Okay.
Pernicus says, "I don't envy you guys." You step into the building. It's made out of brick. Like plain light red and yellow bricks. And
Hello?
there's a little bing, bing
Tasha?
of a bell. And a tiefling woman comes in from a separate room out back. You can hear what sounds like the whirring of machinery in the back rooms. Oh, yes,
Hi.
yes.
We need enough hair gel for a couple of months at sea for a crew of women who really like their hair to be done well at sea.
Oh, you
Yeah,
need
about 70 of them.
waterproof hair gel, I guess.
If you say so, if it exists.
Oh.
Fire rain proof.
I was coming just to get, whatever the regular stuff is, but,
You couldn't give the regular stuff to ladies at sea if,
as you say.
the elements, even if it's not the water of the Blood River, the sweat, just that alone.
Yeah. Sure.
Not responsible.
Yeah.
Yes, we have the stuff. It's not going to be terribly cheap, but 60 gold, and I should be able to get you these vats.
Yeah. Fine. That sounds good. I don't feel like haggling.
The gold is pretty low, actually.
And it's not our money. We still have the company credit or whatever.
Yeah, you do still have plenty of company credit to make this purchase. And she pulls out or she goes up into a back room and comes back with several medium-sized barrels that have the words Dippity-Doo written on them. Dippity-Doo styling gel.
Where's the da?
And she's very funny. Well, I guess, yeah, this should be enough. This is their naval blend.
All right.
Extra hold.
I pull open the checkbook and write 60 on there.
Very good. Pleasure doing business.
Do you have anything for, like, undead people? or like people with demonic necrosis, because I got all this going on, and
She looks at your fingers. Yeah, just some colloidal silver. You should be able to clear that right up. I have a tube in the back. I'll give it to you for free.
That's really
That's
cool.
fair.
As an aside, it's very similar to one of the short stories that I read in the Brandon Sanderson universe, where if you get, there are these ghosts that are around the forests, and if they touch you, it like withers you and like decays you. But if you pour silver dust on it soon enough, it'll restore you.
Yeah.
Or like putting it in water and making someone drink that.
So she comes back with a tube, liquid silver.
Thanks, babe. So, how much is this gonna cost?
And she looks you over and says, "You may be able to pay me back one day. I'm gonna hold you to that."
Can we just
no,
pay
it
for it
cut
now?
out.
We've got the money. We're
It
not.
cut out. I didn't hear what Derek said.
Say that again.
Be able to make a collection from you eventually.
No, I
In
think we
money,
should
right?
just pay for it now, so we don't have to deal with it later.
Yeah, bud. I got money.
And she says,
So
if
if
you
you-
insist, 10 gold is fine.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
that's,
if you wanted to hang out later, like, you know, like, I always need demonic removal or whatever it is. I can do with silver.
Extortion 101. Pay up front everything if you can.
And yeah, if you're led out, you can see that the dwarves nod that the perimeter is clear, and they say, "I guess we should head back."
Yeah.
Copernicus crosses his arms and says, "I sort of want another one of those Gugalakis for the road. Could we stop into one of these pubs?"
Oh my god. I'm
Is that
so
okay?
sick of stopping at these pubs, dude.
No. Yeah, I just want to get this stuff where we need to take it.
There was this
and
place. It
just
was
be on
called
our
like the
way.
Apothecary Gastropub. I forgot that they've got some
Oh my
crazy
God,
stuff
I'm
there.
Oh my god, here we go again with you guys trying to lead us places.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
group me in with him. I'm on your side.
You can see that the
Not
dwarves
you,
are
I
beginning
mean
to walk
these,
off, and they
yeah.
also roll their eyes. You can see PETA shakes his head disapprovingly. Grumble, 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 grumble.
Fine. We're not spending time here. We're going in to get you your snack and then going to drop this shit off so we can go and get the fuck out of hell, okay?
What? Really? You'll let me stop?
You can get your snack. In and out. No conversations. No side quests.
Oh,
No
yeah,
more strays.
no. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to try some more advanced
Let's
Gugalaki.
go.
Gugalaki, Gugalaki.
Let's go.
All right. And you have to take a couple of...
Pick a place.
Yeah, he takes you to the apothecary, and you can see there are all different kinds of like science experiment bottles, siphons, and various distillery kits that are set up in the windows and throughout the building. Flashy neon fluorescent lights, the dim yellow color. Hanging from the ceilings. There's a long bar that is run by gnomes, stand on stools, and Loxodon.
Go get your goo goo gaga.
And as the group of you make your way toward the bar, and Copernicus says, "I'm looking at the menu. All right, it's fine.
You know what you want. Tell them what you want.
Can I have your strongest Gugalaki? We need a large container for the road."
Oh wait, is this a drink?
Yeah, with the
Yes.
worms in it.
Oh, I thought it was some kind of snack.
No.
You were acting really weird after you drank that crap. I'm having second thoughts.
Too late.
Can I?
And at
Can I
this
have one of the
point,
worms?
you can see about 20 Barbazoo sort of step out from
God
various
damn it.
parts of the tavern, and they begin making their way toward you.
What? What?
Not gonna let us escort you?
No, we're not.
Then I think we've got a problem.
What are you gonna do about it? You gonna fuck with me? The guy that everyone likes around this place? Come on.
Make an intimidation check.
Can I give advantage?
Please?
Yeah.
Blake
I
stands and
also
looks
help?
undead.
If you want to all make separate, everyone in your party will make intimidation checks. Let's see.
For what?
Copernicus pulls out his staff, or his wand, I'm sorry, and points it over at the group. Do you know what this is, motherfuckers?
I rolled a 10.
What is
I
that?
got 18.
Are more intimidating.
Wait, got an 18.
Good. PETA pulls out an axe, and a bright light shines across the group of them, and they part. He rolls a natural 20 on his intimidation check.
You really want to fuck with this?
And the bearded devils begin scattering.
Alright,
Let's get out of here. Come on.
Whew. God damn it. I hate that. I hate that. They come in, they get me all riled up. Get your drink. Oh, I don't want to be like this. I'm up here. I'm up here.
Copernicus puts down a platinum piece on the counter and takes the barrel and
I don't want to be here.
pops it on top of his backpack. Wow, I never get to decide what we do. This is great.
I want to be
Let's
down.
go.
I want to be down
Okay,
here.
but this is the last time.
I'm up here.
You saw what happens when you decide what we do.
I mean, to be fair,
That's not fair.
it's
Come
not,
on.
That's not fair. It does happen everywhere we go. I wasn't pissed
But
at
it
him.
was so predictable.
I wasn't mad at him about it. I was mad at them about
Like
it.
Sunny messes
Salt.
up all the time, and she still has say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Copernicus?
and we still joke about it.
We almost made Blake cry a little bit ago, remember?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, bud. You
Oh
know
my
I
God,
would
it
never
was the
throw
only
you
way
under
to
the
get-
bus unless I needed to.
It's
Gotta
cool. It
roll
was
with the
very
punches
funny
in this
too.
group.
Yeah, and plus crying's the only way to get you guys to shut up sometimes. Like, oh my god.
give me the goo goo gaga. You can have it later.
It's in my bag.
Give me the
no,
goo goo gaga.
No, I'm keeping it.
I've
You
read
get
that all the
back
wand.
pocket. And the group of you exit the bar. You go down a street and you see a place lit up single wide. Torlin says, "Oh Jesus, this is. Of course, we're gonna get caught up in this. This is we come around this way. Let's try and avoid the crowds here." And he begins taking you through different alleyways, and you are successfully, with some trouble, able to make your way back to the Dark Portents pub. And Helena, you can see that it's a bit less crowded than it was, but the only captain left is Helena.
I slapped the jugs on the table.
And she looks them over. Very good. He went to Tasha.
I didn't know there was anyone else to go to.
Well, not for this stuff. That's great. You very much pleased me, and I hope that we will be able to return the favor. Me and my girls.
Did you get us to Stygia and we'll be peachy.
Even Peven.
Should be able to do that.
Okay. Oh wait, can you get us out? Also, is that a different deal? This is a one-way or two-way trip.
Let's go. Well, maybe we should talk in my quarters. Come with me.
We do.
And she leads you out of the pub. You can see those that remain stare you down. And you return to the port area to find it altogether empty except for the lusty maiden. And make your way up to the ship, step onto the deck, and are led toward the captain's quarters, at which point you can hear the As the door closes, you can hear someone yell out, Drop the mast! Drop the sails! That's what I meant.
Sail words, sail terms, sailing terms.
Yeah.
Raise the anchor, guys. Do that first. Oh my god. My
Set-
dad sails. I know
Set
these
sail. No, you boys are gonna have to help me set this sail.
things.
Pull those ropes over there.
Stop.
Etc., etc. And you find yourselves in the captain's quarters. A rather nice, I just imagine it generic Pirates of the Caribbean. There's an organ, large tables, a desk, resplendent bed, several chests that are locked. A little library.
What the hell
box.
is books at sea on a flammable ship? What happens when you're at storm? How do they stay on the shelf? This is so impractical. I love it though.
Windows
I think they're glued down.
at the back.
No, that's literally a scene in Our Flag Means Death. He has this whole ostentatious captain's quarters, and
Right.
like an actual pirate comes on and is like laughing his ass off. He's like, "You've got books at sea on a flammable ship, paper." Yeah, it's
Right.
great.
Notice there are no candles, but dim lights.
He had candelabras.
Oh, right. Yeah. And she takes a seat at her desk and says, Well, I may not be able to help you, but there is someone out there who can. And is in fact compelled. And it will be to your advantage to use this information to make your escape. If we go along the path that we are planning to, it may... Well, we won't have dealt with any of the business that's happening in Avernus, and it is a powder keg with the blood war continuing to go on every day. Those who rule here, those hateful eight, have any who pass through this land contribute in some way, at least to pretend to, for their own benefits. But who could tell Helena of the lusty maiden what it is that one should do? And so, indeed, if we are able to make it through to Stygia, there is one with whom we may be able to parlay for our freedom out of here. Do you know of Levistus?
Yeah, he rules over the fifth layer, ostensibly trapped there in a prison of ice, some reports say. Others
Yes.
say he's still able to move around the plane. I'm not sure what to believe.
He's entombed
Consensus is he's a cool guy.
within a
Shut up.
glacier. And he...
You said he's still trapped?
Yes, he is trapped, and is compelled to help those in dire straits leave as they must. As such, by the magical compulsion which keeps him trapped in place, he will be able to offer you safe passage out of the Nine.
Wait, he gives this to everyone who needs to get out of hell? Does he have like a waiting list or something? Because I feel like that's gonna be a lot of people. You know?
I'm sure he'll be happy to let
It
us out
is.
as long as our souls come to him when we die. Is that right?
Well, it's more in terms of his relationship with Asmodeus and the other, and the others there, because he is given power at the expense of them. Whatever power they don't possess goes to him in the magical rulings of this realm. And so, for those, almost all who travel through the realm of Bator are in desperate straits and in the middle of a plight or crisis of one kind or the other. And those who seek out to him, he is compelled to help remove, even if it be at the expense of immediate gain, for it will surely be a disadvantage to those with whom he is opposed. An enemy, a friend of my enemy, you understand?
Yeah. So you're telling me this guy, he gets sloppy ninths of the magic that flows through all of the devil lords?
He does have. It is simply because of his excess of magic which he had coming in. Even with that amount, if he were not contained, he would surely pose a threat to many of the other lords of the Nine, simply for his natural propensity.
Neat.
Yes, it's said that Garion, who is disposed from the Fifth Lord, plots at all points to overthrow Levistus, and that if he had his way, indeed, would melt the ice and attempt to thwart that lord himself.
Neat.
We must be wary of the followers of Garion and Levistus once we're safely into Stygia. I expect that we'll spend a day at sea.
Speaking of that, so how does navigating it work? Do we need to pass through the second through fourth layer, or are there like byways and eddies?
It's a dangerous passageway, but the ship is equipped with the means of slowing our descent through the cavernous abyss which lies between the first layer and the fifth. For the only way to make it through that way is to go down the waterfalls of Asmodeus.
Sounds splashy. I don't want to get blood on me. I heard that's real bad for you.
Don't worry, we've got girls who've made the journey before. Only the toughest and most capable.
Yeah, what's the survival rate? How many people do you lose on every journey?
Most of the time I lose very few of my girls.
Okay, so that's very few is still some.
Average 2.
A journey?
2 per journey. But only one guest has ever fallen over. We were able to retrieve them, but they were rather barmy by the episode. You have to protect yourselves. Stay under the ship, the hull, for as much as you can.
Easy.
Gotcha.
When are we leaving?
We've already left.
Huh? Dope. Look at that.
And it is at this point that there is a crashing of lightning, and the ship begins to shake, and it's almost it's almost as if something has crashed into it. You think may be the case. And Helena says, what? Come! The dwarves pull out their axes.
Uh-oh. Blake readies the trident.
And when
I'm gonna
you
pull out my
exit the
short bow.
captain quarters, let's say that you've been there for about 15 or 20 minutes, you see a familiar face suspended in the air atop a nightmare is the Narzugon that you had seen previously. It is uploaded there. And his voice resounds through the air. The sky has become swirling clouds of fire, and a very intense storm seems to be brewing. The waters begin to get increasingly choppy, and the boat rocks back and forth. And he says, "You have attempted to thwart the will of Asmodeus, but you will not be successful." And it's at this point large, I guess you could say like flaming comets or balls of fire begin to rain down from the sky and into the Blood River, and the water begins to get increasingly choppy and the ship is thrown about. Would I be able to have everyone roll initiative?
Hell yeah.
Is my rod granting me initiative
Yes.
or advantage?
Yep.
21.
Cool.
17.
I rolled the lowest I've ever rolled on initiative, 11.
Okay, have to make a few more rolls. Just give me 2 seconds. So many people. Copernicus rolls a 3 on the die. One second. Ooh, interesting. Oh, man. That makes perfect sense. 1, 2, 3. Copernicus, the creature, the crew. I think that's everyone. Pocket, you're the first to act.
Describe it to me.
Okay, you are in a ship in the middle of the Blood River. Let's say that you're at the deck level, so you can't necessarily see too much of what else is going around, but you are in the middle, ostensibly, very far away from either surface, hundreds and hundreds of feet, and about, we'll say, 150 to 200 feet in the air is this Narzagon who, I don't know if he's cast a spell or a magical effect, but has caused it so that fireballs have begun to rain down from the sky at various points in and around the ship where you are currently. You think that when you were inside of the captain's quarters, one may have hit the ship and knocked it about. As you can see, scorch marks on the front bow that appear to be fresh, but there are protective measures that were put on the ship on this occasion, so the damage isn't as bad as you figure it would be given the circumstances. And it doesn't appear as if the majority of these incoming fireballs are directly on top of the ship. They're slightly more sporadic than that, and they're definitely spread out, we'll say. So that is the scene. What do you do?
The Narzagon is the only like assailant other than his meteors and shit.
Yep.
I turn to the captain. Captain.
And Helena says,
yeah, I don't do anything until the captain tells me to.
she says, "Ignore the Narzagon. We need to make sure that can put protective measures on the ships. I think that we have wards in place. I need you to help me put these wards into effect. There are 4 on the 4 corners of the ship. There's 1 at the front bow and left. You'll be able to see them. They're carved into the wood. We need to act quickly."
Will it take time to activate them?
Yes.
Okay, I rushed over to one of them and throw up a Liamin's tiny hut around myself. Oh wait, no, that does take time to cast. My bad.
Yeah.
Never mind. So I go over there and I will instead cast Well, I guess it doesn't matter if they're just meteors. Okay, I'll start working, looking at the rune and what I need to do with it.
Yep, you're able to make your way up to the first rune. It takes all of your action. It's a rather large ship.
So yeah,
you
I'll
have to
dash to get over
Yep.
to it.
Once you make your way up to it,
Fly fast.
Your impression is that it's a simple magical rune. It's activated by running your fingers through it. And you're able to do that as your item interaction. So
Okay,
you
cool.
do that, and that is your... Yeah.
Got it.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, let me double check my bonus actions real quick. I'd like to Misty Step. I'd like to Far Step 60 feet to the next one.
Used action dash item interaction.
Yep, I have a bonus action.
Bonus, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're able to get most of the way there.
It is casting a spell.
Let me double check that. Or do you want to roll a D100 for me? It is a spell, right?
Yeah. 30 or 40, depending on how you read when you roll 2d10s. I'll just use the digital one.
Could I see it?
Well, I roll a 3 and then a 0. So there's two ways.
That's 30.
It could also be 40, but yes. 40 or 30.
Oh, I guess.
Because if you read it as 0 as is a 10, then that's 40. That would give you a range of 1 to 100. If you were reading it the other way, that would be a range of 0 to 99.
Yeah, I typically count the double 0 as
I just don't have that one on me.
100.
I don't have the double 0 one. I just rolled 2 d10s.
Right.
30 or 40. Look at the table and pick one.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you are transported twice, and you are
Shit.
now in the midst of the area above the ocean. About
I am flying.
you are flying. It's about 20 feet up, and
Shit.
you can see a big meteor swarming down in your area. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 20.
Natural
That's-
20.
Nice.
As you're able to fly deftly out of the way of this. I guess that's your turn now.
Yeah, that's everything.
Very good.
I do have the effect. Far step is concentration,
Yes,
so I can
it is.
blink 60 feet every turn.
That's really fun for me.
Well, it's already cast the spell, so it shouldn't have to do it every single time.
Yeah,
that would be
that's what you
that would
think.
be that would be
Ruzo,
much.
it's now
a
your
little
turn.
much.
Do we remember what his name was?
Whose name?
The Narzakan?
He shouts it out. You will rue the day that you crossed Haruman the Unvanquishable.
Okay. And am I able to help with the wards? I'm not a magical person.
You think that magic users need to be the one to do it?
Okay.
Typically. It's about manifesting weave.
I'm gonna shout up at him, Haruman, is there not a way we can talk this out? Why are you doing this?
He shouts down, "You have trespassed against the will of Asmodeus."
What is the will?
Trespassing will doesn't make sense.
And shouts down, "And you have disrespected me, one of his highest servants."
When did we disrespect you?
And is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn? He's happy to continue talking to you.
I don't know what I can do, to be honest. I don't know how I can help in the situation aside from talking to him.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to do, Blake Sunny, while this conversation is happening? Let's say that he gets in this argument with you. It's like a customer service complaint situation. You have failed to accede to the will of Asmodeus.
So
Okay,
he's got
okay.
wings, right?
Huh?
Sorry. Nah,
No,
you go.
continue.
You keep going, Grace. I don't want to interrupt.
Okay, but what is the will of Asmodeus? How do we know we've trespassed against Asmodeus if you don't tell us the will?
The age-old
Help us
argument
believe.
of not knowing the law and still breaking it.
Don't argue for him.
Sorry.
Come on, whose side are you on?
Sorry.
What do you do, Blake?
Cool. So he's got wings, right?
No, he is in a suit of armor on a nightmare. He's
Oh, and
riding
it's just kind of flying over this.
Yeah, about
over the
180 feet away.
108. Shit, that's out of range for my punishing pitchforks. Okay. Is there anyone in immediate and particular danger? And if not, then I have no idea.
Give me 1 second. No, none of the ladies on the ship were affected.
Okay. Are there any like he's summoning meteors and fireballs and throwing them at the place? So like, is there any way I can kind of get ahead on that and just kind of take the hit for the ship instead?
You think that if one were to come down, that you might be able to attempt to block it with you would presumably want some kind of weapon, maybe the side of your magical axe or something like that.
Oh, you
could
played baseball.
baseball it, yeah.
You played baseball with Strawn. You're ready for this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've been
Blake's
practicing.
eyes are gonna full-on pupil dilation, like.
You have flashbacks to playing baseball with Strawn.
You're gonna hold your action in case there is an incoming, we'll say meteor.
Either that or he gets in range.
What was his range again?
My range is 60. He's 180 out, so he'd need to come 2/3 closer.
Got it. Yep, understood. And you don't have to wait for very long until one of these meteors begins. I rolled an initiative for it. It's a 10. So.
Oh god.
Go ahead and just make an attack roll.
Can I attack recklessly? Because
You're already attacking recklessly,
perfect.
Blake Sunny.
28.
Yeah. You shoot this off. As it happens, you still take 7 points of fire damage, because it is a fireball, and you were close enough to it. It affects you, but you are able to shoot it off way out. Make an intelligence check.
Sure. Give me a sec.
The fear in your eyes.
I have.
Oh, you're kidding! It was a 20 until it hit the corner of my stupid screen.
Oh.
The world's first nat 0.
Yeah, you're just surprised that you were able to make contact with this fireball.
She's like lost in the sauce here.
Definitely lost.
She's
in the
like, hey, you got
sauce.
any more?
Let me see the Narzagon.
Oh. My phone died.
Oh, I
No.
see. Oh, you're on your side now for
Well, no,
us.
it's the
That's
phone's
wild.
dead, but it's still disconnected.
That's okay.
Yeah, we can see the last frame, which is you when it's like you kind of like turn.
Yeah, I see. No,
like
I
the
see it.
landscape. Great.
Interesting. So the Narzagon actually begins flying up and away from the group of you. And
Uh-oh. Okay, we only heard and.
No,
I
he's.
think.
Yeah.
yes, that's all that I've said.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering, with the phone cut out and all.
No. I'm sorry that, yes, you are in the darkness. The Narzagon is able to begin its elevation, essentially. It begins to fly to the side. You're not sure whether or not it is trying to escape or if it's scoping you out. But it it creates a little bit more space from itself and the party for the time being on its magical horse. You may or may not know has a name. Of course, his name is Malevolence. And it is now Helena's turn. During her turn, Helena and the crew begin pulling up the mainsail and leaving the smaller ones. The magic user begins to make her way to one of the magical wards in the back and to begin interacting with it significantly. It is now Copernicus's turn. He is going to... he's not really sure what to do, so he is going to come...
He's magic, he can fix a rune.
But he's got a brain fart. He's
While he's having that brain fart, I'm gonna scream up to Harriman. Harriman, what is the will of Asmodeus? Come on, let's have a dialogue here.
No.
And you hear a voice back. The will of Asmodeus is that you should witness Avernus and the state of the blood war, and that you should find the Balrog and vanquish it.
No.
Until then, you will meet the resistance of Haruman and those who serve me.
Did I hear a
I'm gonna-
Balrog?
Copernicus says, "Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to cast mage armor." Whoop!
And then what? He explodes?
Yeah. Copernicus, no.
Oh, it's funny because there is a different thing that happens. Oh no, I need to... 1 second. Oh, I have to go back so far. Here we go. That can go, that can go, that can go, that can go.
I'm gonna turn to Pocket, who's probably focusing on this ward, but do you have any idea what he's talking about? Avernus? Blood War?
What?
Balrogs?
Yeah, Avernus. First layer.
Copernicus gets
Can I-
wide-eyed and says, "No, Haruman, you will worship me!" And they prestidigitate their voice.
Wow.
"I am the keeper of the Elder Wand, and I will not be spoken to this way by a servant!"
Oh my god.
I like the energy. Less of the wand.
Wisps of light and smoke begin to propel themselves from the Elder Wand.
Oh no.
And that is Copernicus's turn.
Yeah,
He is-
anyway, yeah, Avernus, first layer of hell. It's where we've been. Asmodeus is the leader of all of the hells, and Balrogs are big and scary and one of his, stronger minions.
I wonder if that's Niles' wife.
I really hope so.
It is now Pocket's turn. But we will wait if we have to for this phone to
You don't have to.
get...
I go over to the next rune. I blink over to it.
You are going to attempt to far step to it?
I use my bonus action to far step.
Uh,
Not casting a spell, just
roll a
continuing the
D100
spell.
for me, please.
Stupid. 91.
Exciting. Could you roll another D100 for me?
I'd fucking love to. 33.
33.
Yeah, 33.
Okay. That's... That's what... Okay. Nothing immediate happens. What spell effect are you trying to cast?
I'm using this. I
Far
don't-
step? Oh, it doesn't work. The spell doesn't work.
I don't want to host this show no more.
I don't want to host the show no more.
You can see that a magical sparkle shoots out from wherever you cast your spell, your hands, I presume, and surrounds you as such.
A little bit different view. I hate it, but my charger's super short.
It's okay. The show must go on. Just give me one more second, and your spell effect ends.
I hate this. Not having a good time right now. I end my turn, or as I'm walking over to the other runes.
You begin to make your way back. You are not able to make it all the way back
Whatever.
to the rune where the ship is. Ruzo, it is now your turn.
Is there anything that it looks like I could help with? Because I don't think we're getting very far with this conversation.
Make an intelligence check.
I got a natural 1. It was a 3 though.
That's good. Good for me.
Oh.
You struggle to find an easy solution for the problems that you are currently faced as a party.
Cool.
Does it look like I could help Blake or anything? I don't know.
Do you need to?
I don't know.
You think that there's an interesting dynamic with your check. You can see that you specifically remember when Copernicus was like mind controlled by the wand, and it was like someone else is speaking through him. You recognize that same effect in him now. It's as if the wand has temporarily taken control of his mind.
I'm gonna shout up at him. Haruman! Leave us alone. You don't want any of this, guy. I promise you that. It's not gonna end well. That's all I can do. He's out of range for me to do anything.
The one I serve is stronger.
I'm sure he is.
Blake, Sonny, what do you do, if anything?
She's gonna keep doing what she's doing, but I think she's actually gonna take a different tactic with the horror man and be like, if you believe your master is so strong, why don't you come here and face us? You're just flying away and pelting rocks at us. You're an annoyance, not a killer.
It's not very honourable of you.
Yeah.
Come down here.
Test your faith.
There
Fight
is
me.
no honor
One-on-one.
but might in this realm.
Yeah? Then prove it. I'm mightier than you. You see what I did to your rock?
You can make a persuasion.
There's nothing mighty.
I mean, I'll just let you know. If you both fail your persuasion checks, it is now the Narzagon's turn, and he will begin his flight, and he descends down. Not closer towards you yet. He's further away, as it were, but he begins his descent down. And as it happens, you can see he pulls his sword out, but that is it. It is now the crew's turn, and the witch makes her way to the other rune and attempts to interact with it. I'm not sure if any of you can see her now, so you may not know what happens as such, but it is Copernicus's turn then, and he begins levitating in the air. And I like this. Give me 1 second. I have to look up the spell.
He's fueled by the Google-aki.
Yeah. Oh my
When the
goodness.
Googalaki hits, all the lads are like this.
Lifts himself up into the air, and you can see, oh my, it's almost as if there's a magical, it's more intense than a witch bolt, but some kind of magical radiating energy shoots out from the wand and begins making its way towards Haruman. Actually, let me check. Oh my. This happens, but there's something else that happens, which makes perfect sense with the plot of what I had planned, but it's actually too good. It's too good to be true. Copernicus shoots off this discharge of lightning, which Haruman dodges, and it shoots and it shoots and it shoots further and further and further and further beyond the plains of Avernus, and there is, in the distance, an enormous explosion, like a nuclear bomb. And there in the distance, you begin to see, it almost looks like a massive angelic figure and floating minions descending down onto the plains of Avernus further than you're able to tell. It's almost like your vision zooms in so that you're able to experience this. It's slightly more clarity than it would make sense given the distance, as if it were the will of the realm itself. And the waters around you begin to get increasingly turbulent, and the ship is essentially destroyed in an instant, and all of you are flung here, there, and everywhere, and everything goes black. And that is where we're going to stop our session.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to fail my wisdom checks and make a new character, I guess. Fuck.
Oh.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't exactly know what's going to happen, but I promise.
Yeah, me too. I'm sick of being a spellcaster. I'm useless. Can't do anything. Damn it.
It is the spell plague, so yeah, I can show you the
You're gonna be
table
so
I'm
funny.
using, but there is
Yeah, I mean, we
there's a
weren't much help.
variation as far as it goes. So yes, that was a thing. It happened. There will be consequences, but it may not be the plot line projection that you're necessarily thinking. We'll have to find out next time
I was just
It
hoping
never
he'd, like,
is.
yeah.
in D&D Chain of Memories.
Oh no, D&D Dream Drop Distance. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
D&D 2 plus 5 double XD.
No.
It's all coming up. So yeah, I don't know how long that was compared to how we
That
usually
was
go.
an hour 20. It's a normal one.
Just about right. Okay, well,
Great.
I miss the long ones, but I guess that you do have stuff that you need to do, so this is about our usual time. Thank you everyone for joining us, and until next time, I've had fun at least. Goodbye.
Bye.